Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to beat the hard AI, the order AI in Loria. And Loria is a strategy game that came out late 2018, and it's both from graphic style and gameplay. It's very similar to Warcraft 2, as you will shortly see. You start off with a town hall and 5 workers, and we will immediately send 4 workers into the gold mine and 1 worker chopping wood, and then we produce additional peasants in the town hall. And the reason we only send 4 workers into the gold mine is because, as you can clearly see, as soon as 1 worker comes out of the gold mine, the other one is immediately going in. So they're in a perfect flow, and sending 1 more worker in there would not result in additional income. So the big strategy here against the AI is to quickly get the 2nd tier building, so to quickly upgrade our main building. And in order to do that, we need to build a blacksmith, which I'm building right now, and then we will also build a barracks, and those are the 2 buildings that we need to go to tier 2. And the reason why I build the barracks a little bit later is because the barracks takes a little shorter to build, and so the buildings will now finish at approximately the same time, and we can then immediately upgrade our main building. You will also see that we have 10 supply right now, so we can build 10 workers. So we build 2 additional workers, and then we stay at the supply because we can't build any units, or we don't want to build any units anyways until we have the upgraded main building. So the next, we're waiting right now for the tech buildings to build. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to get knights, which are the strongest ground unit in the game. And while Loria is a nice game, it has some trouble with balance, I'd say, mainly because knights are already available at tier 2, and knights are way superior to footmen, even though they don't cost that much more than footmen. So we will produce no footmen from the barracks, but we will rather wait until we can produce knights from it. And now we're starting to build an altar. You can build heroes in this game, as you could also in other Warcraft games. And heroes are very powerful individual units that get stronger over time. They get stronger if they are present when enemies are killed, which is both neutral monsters and, of course, opponents' units. And then we're also going to build 2 houses in order to have enough supply. As you can see, we are maxed out right now, 10 out of 10. But as soon as the keep finishes, our house finishes, so we can immediately start training knights. And here I encounter a little bit of a bug where the worker is stuck in the building. We encounter it once again here, and what I do is I select, first of all, I produce the hero here, and then I select this worker. I think I will realize it shortly, and then I press the hold key, so it kind of bugs out of the building again, and I get the worker back. There are a couple of little bugs like this in Loria, but nothing major. So the second unit we're going to build, so we're going to produce knights from this 1 barrack all the time now. This is very important. We only have we don't want to spend too much money building any buildings, so we want to use the buildings that we have with maximum efficiency, which is why I will constantly queue up the next knight as soon as 1 knight finishes. And then we're also going to get a 2nd tech building, which is the magic hallows, and we're going to build sorcerers from it, which are basically healers. They are also a very powerful unit, as you will see, and those are going to be the only 2 production buildings, the barracks and the magic hollows. There's no need to build any more production buildings right now, because we only have income from 1 gold mine, and that is just enough to build units from 2 production buildings. No point in building any more until we have an expansion. So as you can see there, I'm queuing up the next knight. And then I think I will also go ahead and build another house here. And here we start creeping the neutral monsters, which levels up our hero, and it also levels up our unit, which is a new concept as far as I can tell. So units can also level up in this game, and they get a little bit stronger, and also the moment they level up, they will heal a significant amount. We will see this shortly here. So what I also did, I think you can kind of see it, I put the waypoint of the barracks, I put it on the hero. So all units that come out of the barrack, as you can see here, they will immediately rally to the hero. So our army will be as strong as possible at all times, and I don't have to worry about units just standing around in my base and doing nothing. Okay. Here you can see the hero and the units leveling up, so they all get healed again. I forget to level up my hero actually. He now gained an additional skill, and I will not use that additional skill for the rest of the game. Little mistake. Okay, so here we see the first sorceress coming out, and yeah, the sorcerers are basically, they are also very strong units, especially over time, because they automatically heal units when they get low. And yeah, since knights are very costly units, if you can manage to micro injured knights out of the fight, the sorcerers will heal them again, and then you can put them back into the fight. So they make especially beefy units like knights get much more valuable if you have sorcerers behind them. Here I do a little bit of micro. I move my hero into the middle of all the neutral opponents, because he has an AoE swing that damages all the opponents around him. And two reasons that we are doing these neutral creeps right now here at the second gold mine is to upgrade my hero and my units, and the second one is also, of course, that I can take a second base at a point in the future if I want to. So now we have already built up a very strong army. We have 5 knights and 2 sorcerers. Right now I'm manually using the heal skill because the sorcerer wasn't doing it for some reason. And yeah, well, by now we should already have a much superior army to the opponent, because we used all our money to build up a superior army. We were very efficient. We were very efficient about using our gold, and here we can see that yeah, our opponent is has only tier 1 units. He only has swordmen, and you can see that swordmen are do not stand a chance against knights. And even if the knights get damaged, they will immediately get healed up. You see these little green icons on the hero and the knight, which means that sorceress has started to heal a unit. They put a healing spell on a unit, and then it slowly, or relatively fast actually, they heal up relatively fast, and yeah, which basically resulted in 0 losses on my side in this fight. Yeah. So at this point, it's basically mopping up now. The first thing I'm going to target in the opponent's base is, of course, the defensive structure, the tower. And as soon as this is gone and the last unit is gone, I'm going to move my units into the opponent's worker line. I'm going to try to kill off all the workers, so the opponent's income is reduced to 0. So yeah, there you can see I manually move the units into an area where they will automatically attack the opponent's workers. At this point, it doesn't really matter anymore, because even if the opponent were to build units, my army is much too strong and much too high level to still do anything about it. But it's still a useful technique if you were playing against an opponent who's maybe just not in his base for a moment. That's the most damage you can usually do. Move your army into the worker line and try to kill off all his workers, so he is crippled economically. So right there you can also see me slowly upgrading the ground units in the forge. Once you have a certain number of ground units, here for example we already have like 6 or 7 knights, so it definitely pays to start upgrading them. Again, in this game doesn't really matter, but if the game is much more highly contested, you definitely want to slowly build up the upgrades of course only of those units you're building. Okay, so basically to sum up, the reason why we won is superior strategy. We built much more cost efficient units than the opponent did, and we also used our money only to build those units. We did not build 5 different buildings and then build a unit from each of those buildings, as I see often a lot of beginners doing. We focused our attention on just 2 strong units, and then of course we were proactive. We were immediately taking our hero and the first units to start killing neutral monsters, and we were constantly moving around with our army, leveling it up, and then at some point where it became very strong, we started attacking the opponent. And this way, we are very proactively controlling the game, and we won it. And I hope you enjoyed this little replay.